Are you ready to change now? Are you ready to become the most vibrant being, person, version of yourself that you could possibly be? Are you ready to go further into creating that version of yourself that is healthy and vibrant and willing to take on life? Hello, everybody. My name is Nicole, and I help women with digestive diseases and disorders by creating holistic and alternative measures to add to their wellness routine. In our previous videos, we started identifying limiting beliefs and why we have them, why these limiting beliefs are holding us back, why it's important to release these limiting beliefs. Today, we are going to go further into the book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Okay, so now you're aware. You're aware of these things. You're aware of these limiting beliefs. You're aware of that should list. You're aware that your words create your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. This is a great place to be. I'm going to read you a quote from Louise Hay's book. So according to Louise Hay, the process begins the moment we begin to think about making a change. If you break that down, the process has already begun because you've acknowledged it. You're aware of it. That is a great place to be, because now you only can get better from here. The process is already implanted into your subconscious mind that things can change and things can be better for you. Be patient, because resistance will only further cripple that change. Impatience will only make this process take longer. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the idea of change. Be patient when resistance comes up. Like everything else, this is a process. In our next several videos, we are going to now start to focus on how to change. In the previous videos, we looked at those limiting beliefs, we looked at those lists, we looked at the reasons of why or how. But now it's time to move forward. We cleaned out our emotional closet. We looked at it. We know those things are going to be there for a while lingering, but they're there, and they're there for us to work through, to look at and move forward so that we can heal ourselves. Because I believe actually it's probably somewhere around 80% of healing is actually working on the internal dialogue, the internal beliefs, the internal compass that's been driving us to this point of our life. That's probably about 80%. I think only 20% really has to do with the other things, the eating and the diet, the exercise. So if you can wrap your head around that most people think, because it's a subconscious limiting belief, that it's the other way around. And when you think that, it makes it harder to diet and exercise. But knowing that maybe it's only a smaller portion of it, that really it's about changing our mind, can make that a little easier on you. I'm not going to lie, it's still going to be difficult. 3 things Louise goes into in this next chapter, and that is 1, nurturing the willingness to let go. 2, controlling the mind. And 3, learning how forgiveness of self and others releases us. So we're going to start out kind of small here, trusting the process, okay? There are going to be some turbulence. There are going to be rifts that are going to come up. There are going to be shadow aspects that we need to face. There are going to be the people that are going to start kind of maybe pushing away from us or pushing us into those old patterns and habits. But it's up to you. It's up to you to make the change. Step into the portal, my friends. The focus right now is on you. Only you can help you And you can't help anybody else until you've helped yourself. Process is about breaking down and breaking through those negative habits that are holding you back. Those negative habits that are keeping you unhealthy, whether it's physical or emotional. The relationships, the negative patterns, those things. So here we are, another exercise. I know these things can seem very cheesy and such, but I'm telling you, they really work. I'm telling you because even before I discovered Louise Hay's book, these are all things that I've done, but I had to learn on my own or learn the hard way or backtrack several hundred times. Finding Louise Hay's book was like an aha moment of, oh my gosh, this is what I've been doing, and I feel like I'm on the right, like I've been doing the right thing. So I won't stress this enough that these exercises, while they seem cheesy and a little unorthodox, they are so important. They are that 80% that you need to work on. Step one, you are going to either partner up with somebody, which I know is probably going to be a little difficult, especially when this is new and something you've never done, or grab a mirror, or use this as an affirmation. But the secret here is to really feel this, to visualize what you're about to say. So step two, you are going to hopefully take a screenshot of this or write it down. But I now realize that I have created this condition, and I am now willing to release the pattern in my subconscious that is responsible for this condition. Again, I now realize that I have created this condition being your relationship, your sickness, your illness, because we went into that previously where, we realized our anger, resentment, the things we were told as children and that we were led to believe and did believe were something that we created. And taking responsibility for the things that we did is a huge part of healing. Don't blame anybody else. That I have created this condition, and I am now willing. Remember, we were looking at the energy, the frequencies. Willingness and acceptance is sitting above that level of negative frequencies. And we want to be above that negative frequency. And willingness and acceptance is where you want to at least be resonating. I am now willing to release the pattern, whatever that pattern is, in my consciousness. So again, in that 80% that is responsible for this condition. Because this created what was responsible for that condition to be a part of your life. And it's time to let it go. So you've got this, step two. You've taken a screenshot. If you haven't, do it now. Like I said, say this with feeling. Say this from your heart. Visualize it. Visualize those feelings not existing. Visualize this pattern releasing. Then ask yourself if you really mean it. Do you really mean it? Do you know deep down in your heart that this is true? Convince yourself you're ready to step out of the bondage of whatever's holding you back. You don't have to know how. And you don't have to even know when. Just know that what you are speaking and thinking is creating your future. What you think in the now, what you feel in the now, is creating your future healthy version of yourself. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to my videos if you haven't.